Ava gonna be first up versus Taxi, already exchanging with a quick conflagration on one end, a couple of agonies and corruptions on the other. And both of them sacrificing pets. It looks like Adva is playing with a succubus. This is going to keep that going next to him. Taxi going to be getting loaded up with a couple of dots. It's going to be a slow, quick. Succubus CC as Adva is going to check out a Chaos Does himself a good proc. This could be the big one. It's going to be Shadow Fury to follow. Chaos after is going to be quick controlled by Taxi. I think actually maybe human racialing out of the stun. Full dots loaded into Adva with a dark glare, ramping up those dots. Adva might be in big trouble, trying to go for a dark pack, but it's just melted right through. He just actually getting singed with those dots, absolutely just devoured by all those self-consuming dots. Stun around the corner with the drain light. Adva's still in big trouble. This man might just be dead. Oh my goodness, Taxi. He's just monstrous. This Affliction Warlock is a monster, but you know what? He's walking at a he's walking up versus a Desert Warlock who's also a monster. One got dots is just gonna melt you and your and your ancestors down to primordial goo. And the other one just got big chasms that are just looking to devour you, like two dragons pouncing after your head. Tax is going to be up next versus Antimadonna, another big competitor over the 5v5 duel arena. Summoning up the army, going to be a great dark pack for Taxi. Might not go for Porty. You're going to be some dots loaded up versus Anton with a quick fear. Does not go for the Lichborn. I think tried to save that Lichborn for later. There goes the Lichborn. Decided, you know what, I'm going to use it. Maybe try to use the Lichborn to maybe get an interrupt versus Taxi. Taxi is playing the Resolve Trinket, the passive one. That did get nerfed, but I think it's still like really good, right, chat? Is Resolve still like a really annoying trinket to play into? They did try to nerf it, like you should be able to root people. And Death Knights actually do have some counterplay to Resolve with the grips. Grippy hand and the normal grip, and then the Necrolord grip. Big trade for Taxi, getting a lot of health out of all these pets of Anton trying to go for Malefic Rapture. Is going to rapture up his dots. It's going to be Anton jumping after him. Mortal Coil is going to hit him. Stunned with the trinket to follow Taxi with a human racial, trying to see if he can bail out of it. Standing next to the gateway in case he needs to take it. Using the mobility from the port in order to keep himself rolling. And Anton trying to see if he might be able to get some pressure versus that pet, maybe get a couple of death strikes. Taxi catching up all that healing with a drain life, has the dark pack ready to go in case he needs to. Anton rotating that Aegis Trinket, trying to reduce as much of this magic damage he's taking, and he's going to be able to hopefully heal himself while offsetting a good portion of that magic damage into the shield. Full dots by Taxi, ramped up versus Anton, is going to be going for the big old gateway. Drain life onto Anton, doing a bit of damage. Flesh Scout for Anton with a death pack, having to use everything just to survive the assault from the Affliction Warlock. So far, Taxi can just maintain agony, maintain corruption, as long as it can maybe get a UA in here once in a while. And then just maintain all those dots and let the procs happen. That's going to be a lot of sustained pressure versus Anton. And there's not much they can really do about it. Besides, you know, popping AMS and maybe going for interrupts, going for stuns, going for CC, but it's a lot harder with that Resolve Trinket. Stunner to Taxi does get some chain back-to-back stuns. Oh, huge damage to the Taxi, and Anton turning it around against the Monstrous. Oh my goodness, what was that damage? Anton, what'd you do to him? How'd you even get CC in between of that? I think he threw away like a stun from the pet or something just to proc down the proc out the Resolve Trinket to make sure his normal stun is the full value. That was incredible. That's going to be a Lichborn trying to catch up with some healing. Sulfur loading himself up. Giving Anton an opportunity to get an honor duel though, which is something we'll love to see in these 5v5 1v1s. You don't necessarily need to get the other person an opportunity. What happened? I blinked. I know, right? He ended up getting a proc with the Soul Reaper. Got CC chained up perfectly. And then just ramped up all that burst with the Army of the Dead versus Taxi. And Taxi running Resolve. Jesus, Anton, you might be. Oh my god! Well, I was trying to explain what happened to to that Warlock. It's because some dude said I blinked. I feel like I just had the same situation. I think I just blinked and I didn't even see what happened there. Mocked MVP is going to be up next though. Trinketing out of CC immediately. That's going to be another polymorph to have full damage rolling in Sulfur somehow. I don't even know how, but blasted out that Death Knight completely out to smithereens. I can't even believe it. Mogdem tried to see if they could catch up. Got himself a Christmas Pepe on their head. What is this Mog too? Is this like a Paladin set? It's like a full green Pally set. From Legion, I think first raid, first tier. Polymorph out for Sulfur, trying to see if he can land a Ring of Frost onto Mogdem. Should be able to slow him down quite a bit. Mogdem has a lot of defenses ready to go in case he needs to. It's going to be Aegis Trinket trying to give him some sort of survivability. Fire Blast breaking through that Ring of Frost. Mogdem does need to get himself an angle in order to catch back up to Sulfur. Does get himself a charge. Sulfur, does he go for blinks? versus Mogdem, because Mogdem I don't think has any stuns. I think you kind of want to use blinks whenever you need to, kind of like just to get away from the guy. Gonna be a blink versus Mogdem. He knows that he wants to hang out next to where the ulti time is for Sulfur. Good cancel that ulti time. It looks like Sulfur is gonna do. No, not gonna do that. Just gonna let that ulti time happen and meeting Mogdem with a quick breath. Trying to see if they continue a CC chain versus the Warrior. Greater Pyroblast getting loaded up. As Mogdem is sitting on Poly, it's going to be a Blaze Storm trying to see if he can spin himself out of this. 6 minutes in a duel, 7% dampener. And for the Warrior, this is going to be quite a hell of a game, as his healing is going to get reduced little by little. It's going to have to pop big defenses here. That's going to be Sulfur dancing around him, going up that ramp perfect, and then jumping off it, trying to make sure there's a bit of distance away from Mogdem so they're not getting melee auto attack. And it looks like Mogdem definitely needs to set up a slow onto Sulfur whenever possible. Slowing down this Mages should be a priority. Just forcing him to use blinks as much as possible. It's a must. You have to have a hamstring on the guy or piercing howl or whatever you got in order to give this guy CC'd. G-Pie is going to connect. Cannot really go for the reflect. That's going to be Pyro Blast. I think maybe one of those Fire Blasts maybe got reflected. Not Pyro. Big banner up for Mogdem. Has some mobility, but looks like he's going to back up out of it instead. Maybe he's waiting for the ulti time. Looks like he wanted to wait by the ulti time, but Sulfur is going to cancel it out. Got himself the shifted power. Banner still rolling for Mogdem, giving him lots of fury to work with. Lots of rage. Blade storming out of that root. Potentially could catch up to Sulfur. He's going to try to go for an Invis. Cannot really get himself a proper Invis. Breath onto Mogdem. Got played as CC. Could be a trinket right here. It's going to be Refall. He got himself a reflect, but that's going to be a quick Fire Blast for Sulfur. Wildcat. Basically mid-cast of the poly. Fire Blast just to make sure he gets consumed for that reflect so he doesn't polymorph himself. That was a quick thinking, quick move by Sulfur. Almost like he expected for that ulti time, or for that reflect to come out of the Warrior. I thought honestly that a poly should have got reflected. I feel like it came out so clutch for Mogdem. I'm surprised he got a Fire Blast with it. I am very, very surprised. Ring of Frost with a poly. That's going to be Mogdem CC for quite a bit. I see he's going to have to walk through the Ring of Frost. He's going to slow him down. Reflect up. I don't know if he's going to reflect much here. Hit himself. It's going to be Sulfur with Combustion. It's going to be Mogdem with a massive defensives with Enrage Regeneration. Potentially even a impending victory. Trying to see if he can catch up versus the Mage. Just absolutely just a blaze. Trying to see if he can put out the fire. Needs to get as much heal as he can. But how do you steal health from literally a Burning Man? Sulfur got himself shit to power. Gonna get interrupted. Trying to deny cooldown reduction for Sulfur. Quick breath. Sulfur doesn't quite go for a poly. I was gonna expect a poly or maybe a Ring of Frost. Gonna be a quick poly, quick Fire Blast out of Mogdem. Did Sulfur even G-Pie himself? I think they did. Ring of Frost to follow, and Mogdem is going to get him to CC. He walks into it. Trinket for Sulfur with a breath into Mogdem. Can he walk around the ring? He is able to massively walk around it. Doesn't drop Sulfur. Sulfur diving onto the pillar, onto the platform, while in that ghostful form as a soul shape. Mogdem trying to see if he can catch up. Does get a quick charge. It's not going to be an interrupt just yet. Potentially could get himself a Blade Storm for the next one. Big damage to Sulfur. Has ulti time ready to go, and that's going to be Mogdem ready to re-engage. Poly back up. As Sulfur's trying to find himself a little bit of a breathing room. Looks like the Warrior was able to get Sulfur in a good enough situation and put enough pressure. Does Mogdem have a leap? He has a mount up, but he has to catch back up to Sulfur. He is expecting the breath yet again. Mage is trying to give himself as much of a breathing room to let that breath come back for off cooldown. Get himself Nova, potentially go for Ring of Frost. Mogdem does have a trinket, so this Warrior is super scary. Sulfur trying to catch up on some health. Reflect is up. Mogdem trying to see if he can bust out of there. Sulfur blinking away. It's going to be Blazer for Mogdem as he's just slowly spinning over towards Sulfur. I think it might be over for the Mage with a quick breath. And the Ring of Frost is going to freeze Mogdem in place for a second. No trinket available. Trying to see if he can continue to stay aggressive versus this Warrior. G-Pie with a Fireball. Combustion ready to go. That's going to be Aegis for Mogdem. Does he have any way to catch up to the Mage? Is going to go for that Enrage Regen. Try to see if he can snipe some heals away from those images. Sulfur super low on health. Mogdem plenty of recovery. Reflect up in case he needs to. Sulfur right under him, trying to go with the shift in power. That shift in power is going to give him some cooldown reduction. More blinks, more shields at 49% dampening. Quick reflect by the Warrior, trying to go for full recklessness. Sulfur is in so much trouble at no health whatsoever. Quick charge, and it might be an Mexican right here. See pot to follow. Mogdem does end up taking a bow. That was such a long duel, but a well-earned one. Literally go for teabagging and leaves. He committed everything. He threw it all on the floor just to take down that Mage and is out of here. He doesn't want to see that man's face ever again. Man, that was a long duel. That Warrior wanted that one badly. Naze is going to be up next as a Affliction Warlock with a Necrolord. Fear onto Hunted. Got himself full dots. Drain Soul is going to be quick feint death by a Hunted. Still loaded up with dots. Another guy that's not playing Craven Stratagem. I swear to God, we just saw a Hunter who was not playing Craven Stratagem earlier. And this is another Hunter right here that also isn't playing Craven Stratagem. Loaded up with dots. Got himself a feint death. Got himself a short turtle. Short coordinate assault. Short cheetah. But no dots. And they start to see if he can get the dots on a pet, could get the dots on a Hunter. He just needs a couple more, and the Hunter is going to go down. Flame check getting set up, but Hunter is super far behind on health. There's no way for them to come back with a Drained Soul, as Naze is trying to play something different. Necrolord with a Drained Soul. It's an interesting setup. Senretsu is going to be up next, trying to see if he might be able to get a setup versus Naze. At this high dampening, it's going to be like whoever pops burst cooldowns first wins. BDB down, Naze, unless he got a trigger for this one, he doesn't. Wall and a Dark Pack might not be enough here. More to call into Senretsu, but the images should be able to finish him off. Naze actually barely alive at no health whatsoever. Might be able to at least get some dots into Senretsu. Might be able to soften him up for Arhi at the best that he could do. And Arhi is going to be the last one at this high dampening. Arhi's like, you can just see the frustration on this man's face. He doesn't want to play in high dampening. He really doesn't want to do it. He just looks unamused. He's like, I gotta play against who? At how much dampening? Oh my goodness. Sunretsu, try to see if they might be able to. I like your Mog, by the way. For a guy named Sunretsu, you got a very sunny looking Mog. Everything is yellow, everything is bright. You got yourself a nice bright rise and shine tabard. You got yourself the shoulders that have like a very like a sun-like effect to them. Even your weapon has an effect that has an extra bonus glow about it. Like, what is this? It's like, good morning, the monk, basically. Good morning, I got a Lexi for you. Big damage out of the monk. Arya might be in trouble. At this high dampening, there's nothing you can do. Yeah, this high dampening, even if you pop wall. You literally pop wall against the monk, you still die anyway. It's ridiculous. What is going on? We gotta go again, dude. We can't let Arhi just go into such a high dampening game. Also, Naze needs to get another chance in there, man.